Welcome back everybody, Young Moth here, the Rogue, with another video on how to get to and solo Andor. Andor is a place that can be pretty difficult for many people to farm, but for us rogues it can be as easy as pie. The items that drop here are used for all classes to learn specific skills and spells with, so it's a nice place to make a bit of money as well as advance your own skill and spell arsenal. I'll be using Vorloff.com on the left side of their main page. You can click on the Maps and Monsters link to get to this page here. Next we'll click on the Medenia map tab and scroll down to Andor, then click on Bestiary. Here the information of what items drop and where they are is displayed in an easy to navigate to location. As you can see, you can click through these tabs and look at what items drop on all different kinds of floors and levels. Scrolling down we can see the creature list. This is apparently still being worked on, but we can take a look at some of these creatures. Monsters in Andor will cast Sleep Spell, the Prom, which is problematic, and I believe some of the creatures cast a stun type move like Wolfang Fist, which can allow them to kill you pretty quickly. We will be using the Invisible Poison Trap farming method, so as long as we don't mess up, we won't be directly engaging these creatures. Now it's important to take note of a couple creatures. One creature that does not appear on this list is the Invisible Assassin. We will find him in the deeper parts of Andor. When we drop some traps and he walks onto it, he will have the poison icon above him that will identify him. The other one are these two Boro, the Boro and the Borone. You will not kill these ones. They are very dangerous. You should avoid them. They don't really come and attack you, and they have low hit points, so just be careful. They have killed administration characters, which are basically demigods. Down here in the bottom, in the deepest parts of Andor, there's a boss area where we can kill the king and queen for some boss loot. We will not be worrying about that here, nor going towards that in this guide. And then the bottom of the page is a little bit more convenient list of what zones certain items will drop in, as well as an easier way to see if specific items you need can be found in Andor. So now let's kind of make our way towards Andor. I'll assume you know how to get to Ascalon. Next we'll talk to this Lena girl and select Caravan to Nome. We'll actually be going to Nome because Andor is a giant anthill / tunnel on the outskirts of the city. So just click on Nome here. Next to get to Nome, we'll kind of speed through the city here, and we'll head first towards the Caravan Merchant. To the left and right here in Nome are merchants that can sell revive potions, anti-poison potions, potions that drop your hit points to 1 and stuff, which can be useful. So on this map here, Andor is this little place right here, and inside is a nice waiting room next to this wizard. This wizard here, for 250,000 gold, will cast a 10-minute hide spell on you so that you can walk safely to the deeper parts of Andor and skip the earlier areas. I don't recommend it because it is expensive for farming, and you do have the hide spell, so you don't have to worry about it. So let's take a look at the map. So Vorloff.com doesn't have a map of Andor, so we'll be using dawizards.com. Link will be in the description below. And if you click on the maps and click on Andor, you'll get to this page right here. And as you can see, Andor is huge. But one of the nice things is that each room is very small, so getting through there isn't too big of a deal. On the map, we can see a couple areas that are black. These are safe area waiting rooms located kind of in the middle of the hunting grounds, where you can AFK and take a break. This may be useful for us to wait in while our poison traps are doing work if we are hunting in those areas. And they separate the top half of the map from the bottom half. So if you're poisoning rooms in the top half and are waiting for these rooms, or waiting in these waiting rooms, you can warn people who are passing by to hopefully not take your kills. So it is best to farm Andor when there's not too many people online. As you can see, there's only 2 people in Medenia right now. Or if there's not too many people hunting in Andor, that'll work as well. If there are not many people, and hopefully those that are respectful enough to not check your stuff, you can share the area with other people and just choose to hunt in different rooms, because a lot of the items drop in a variety of different rooms. Now if you're new to hunting here, I recommend leaving most of your gold at the bank and hunt either naked or in gear that will not break or drop to the ground when you die. Also clear your inventory of items that will fall from your inventory. Not all items do fall into your inventory, out of your inventory when you die. This way, if you do mess up, you won't really lose anything, and the items you farm here don't really drop on death, so you can keep most of what you farm, and if you die, that could just be the end of your farming for the day, or you can walk back here and it's no big deal. So Andor does have ability levels and requirements to hunt here, and in the deeper parts, which are AB 27 or higher, the lower areas you can hunt will give you some ability points, which can help you level up your AB level, while you farm items to sell and learn skills and spells with. I'll be traveling a little ways into the tunnels to show you guys how to use the poison trap method here, but you can use this poison trap method really anywhere that poison traps will affect the monsters and they don't have a high amount of regeneration. I do suggest practicing first in a couple of the first areas or in Nubis with the poison trap farming method before coming here, because the walk here is farther than the walk to Nubis, so if you die, it's not as long of a journey. Alright, so let's kind of head on in. First, let's kind of take a look a little bit of what we're dealing with as far as these creatures. I'll try to get a combat sense on them to see what their hit points and stuff are. If this guy stops moving around. Alright, as you can see, he's not holy, so we can use our Dark Defense Belt. The elements kind of change up a little bit. The hit points are pretty significant, but not too bad. So poison traps look like we only need about 30 minutes worth of poison to get them low enough to kill. I do recommend that if you're hiding through, that you re-hide near a doorway, so that way if you mess up or are too slow with the re-hide, that you can just pop into the next room and lose aggro immediately. And you'll be seeing me do that here in a little bit. Now you can see here the Boro names are pretty much in every room, and they're pretty unavoidable. But they're often not that aggressive, and even if you poison them, the poison won't kill them. So just don't hit them when you go to clear rooms, and stay away from some AoE abilities. So this room looks kind of big enough that we'll do some poison trap farming. So kind of the main method here is to kind of poison trap in a circle around them, and then get the circle smaller. So you can see, like, I'll try to do a larger circle and try and trap as many as I can into a circle. So this way, if they move out of the circle, then they're poisoned. And I'm spamming the poison trap button a lot to put possibly multiple traps in the same spot. In case multiple ones walk over the same spot, they can all get poisoned as well. It can be a little bit annoying to poison trap farm some of these places, especially Andor, because the creatures do move pretty quick. So you'll run into them a lot. I do recommend using the F5 key to refresh periodically, so that way you don't have too much trouble. And always use F5 when you're near a staircase before you do re-hide, so that way if you need to emergency get down the staircase, you're not being killed or crammed. You don't want to give them any extra chances to kill you than you have to. So we'll kind of finish poisoning up here, and then we'll kind of check the next room to see how well our poison is. So trapping one room wasn't quite enough to get their hit points low enough, so we'll come and trap the next room, and then we can probably get about 4 rooms of traps going before we have to come back to the first one to clear it. So farming about 4 areas isn't too bad, and then you can move to another 4 areas and then come back, so you can alternate between 8 areas of farming. So we'll kind of poison these guys up. So it can be kind of difficult to re-hide without getting aggro. And I like to use 2 hands, so I'll use one hand to hit spacebar and the other hand to hit the hide button. But sometimes you can fail as well, so you probably want to practice this a whole lot, or maybe use different kinds of weapons. Because if you get caught like this, you can be killed rather quickly, as you see right here. But since I wasn't wearing anything important, I was able to come back and get my stuff, and then continue trapping. But when I came back, I did buy the 250,000 gold hide spell just to not have any of this nonsense. because I am making a video, you know. But this hide won't last too long, and we'll see that it does not last very long, so it is kind of not really worth the money. So I'll come back and check these guys. They're not quite done yet. One death kind of wasted me a room worth of poison, so it's kind of unfortunate. In this room, we'll poison these guys again, and it looks kind of dangerous. Usually it's the guys in, I think, green are the ones that like to spam prom the most, the sleep spell. And so there's another thing that we can do is make sure you have your songs perhaps on like the number 2 key in your item slot, so that way if you do run into another issue, like I will in a moment, I'll show you guys, that you can just song out instead of dying. So if you don't want a death pile for whatever reason, like if you have a lot of hit points and it's expensive to buy new hit points, you can just song out and come back, because you know, obviously that's better than dying. So it is a little bit of a walk back, and it's about the same walk back time if I did die. So since I was in a bad situation, perhaps songing out could be, you know, a better thing to do. So we see here that these guys are now ready to kill. So one thing, if you're a pure rogue, you can use Shadow Figure like I'm doing to do final hitting damage and then pick up the stuff. And the kind of the best way to do Shadow Figure here is just constantly spam it. Like just spam 1 1 1 1 1 like I'm doing, and just try to get close to these guys, because you'll just automatically run around them. I do recommend pressing F5 after each guy. Now you can use Star Arrow. I don't recommend it because you might be able to hit the Boro Nang by accident, especially if it's off screen in the splash radius, and that could just instant kill you. And there's some other problems with using Star Arrow to take them out. Like, see, I got Wolfang Fist from a distance, and that could have been problematic if there was a lot of guys around. I'm getting AO Sith a lot. And then the other problematic thing is we had a spawn. Like already, this guy respawned, or he just never got poisoned. So now he's creating me a whole lot of issues because he's got a lot of hit points, and I wasn't ready to kill him, so I'm trying to run away, and they can try and kill me, you know. So I'm not a big fan of the Star Arrow. So another option we can do is we'll just finish these guys off with the Shadow Strike, and I'll show you how you can finish off these guys with some traps, like the Maiden Trap or the Pitfall Trap will work as well in the next room. So we'll kind of head on over there, and we're going to switch weapons real quick and then hop in. So the downside of this is now we have one line hide. So what we're going to want to do is put pitfall traps in their path, so when they come to us, they walk on it and die, and then we'll re-hide with our one line hide. So we can make this line here, and the reason we're making this line, we want to put a couple traps on it, so multiple dudes, if they walk onto the same spot, they're going to prompt me, and then instead of coming over to kill me, they just walk over and die. So even though I'm vulnerable, I don't have that big of an issue. And you also want to bring some anti-poison here. Same thing, just make a nice little line here, then lure them onto the line. Maybe make a second line because there's other guys coming by, and then they just die. So I prefer using traps to kill them, because it is, as you see, a little bit nicer and stuff. You can kind of drop some gold here and make kind of a death circle, and then sit in the middle of it if you have enough time. So in some of the rooms you can just kind of pre-set up the coins, so that way when you're ready to come in, you can sit in the middle of your death circle and lure the guys in and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed my guide. It can be rough here. I definitely recommend practicing, but after a while, when you get a good feel of how things are, you won't die at all, and farming the items here will be relatively easy and fun. So thank you all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Links down below for the music and everything, and have a great night. Bye.